Not only is this super interesting, this is also the third video I've done about weird price discrepancies on Lyft and Uber. Now, as you can see, this past weekend, when I went to order an Uber, for some reason, UberX Share was more expensive than a regular Uber. Granted, it was only 1 cent, right? So it wasn't anything ridiculous, but it was still weird to me. I was going from Playa Vista to my friend's place, and I pulled up Uber, and I was like, wait, why is it 1 cent more to take UberX Share? I feel like this says a lot about maybe the way Uber is approaching UberX Share and how they're trying to revamp it. I already did a video about UberX Share, formerly UberPool, and they changed a good amount of things around. But it seems like there's still some unique algorithmic things going on with it. I will say this too, as a side note, when I was going out, I have a link listed below in the description to a vlog video I did. I was bouncing around filming an entire YouTube video, but I thought this was super interesting for a couple different reasons. Backing up a bit, those 2 prior videos I filmed about price discrepancies. The first one, I was at my friend's place, we were going out, and we did that thing like, do you want to get it? I can get it, you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, wow, from your place to, I think it was Harvell's we were going to in Santa Monica, I was like, oh, it's only 21 bucks. And she's like, Mark, no, it's not. It's $31. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So we compare the apps, close them out, pulled it back up. Turns out, for whatever reason, Lyft was charging her $10 more than me for the same exact ride. I wasn't getting any bonuses, no discounts, no nothing. Everything was the exact same, but they were charging her $10 more. That's really weird. And it's not just by a few cents, which still would be kind of bizarre, but I mean, whatever. But $10 is a lot. Another time, the second time I did a video about weird price discrepancies, I was at the airport coming back from the East Coast. I was tired, and my friend was like, hey, we're all going out tonight. Do you want to come to my place? That kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty exhausted from traveling all day and everything. But I was like, you know what? Let's just see what the Uber would be like if I went to his place. His place was twice as far from LAX here in LA than my place. And for whatever reason, it was cheaper to go twice the distance and twice the time to his place than it was to go to my place. That didn't make any sense whatsoever. And now, bringing things full circle back to this video, I'm always curious why Uber and Lyft does this when it comes to weird price discrepancies. And in this case, we're talking just about Uber. But the weird thing is with UberX Share, again, it's only 1 cent. So I know it sounds kind of odd, like, Mark, why do you care about it being 1 cent more? But I do think this is interesting because it's showing what Uber's trying to do, again, with algorithmic testing. And like I said in those prior 2 videos, it is weird how just odd stuff happens when it comes to Uber and Lyft. And my overall theory when it comes to all of this is a lot of it is testing. They're trying to figure out what are people willing to pay, you know, because of course, they want to pay the drivers the most they can, but then people want to spend the least amount of money on that Uber or Lyft. So those things are always going to be kind of this odd scale to balance out where drivers get compensated the way they should. And of course, the people taking the Ubers and Lyfts pay the least amount of money possible because of course, no one wants to spend a lot of money when traveling just in general, right? Or pretty much on anything. And the weirdest thing for me about this, which I thought was very odd, is when it comes to UberX Share, it is supposed to be 5% cheaper than regular Uber. So already I'm like, okay, so it's not. I mean, again, I know it's only 1 cent, but to me I was like, well, why is it actually 1 cent more? There is something unique when it comes to UberX Share that's new. When I talked about this in that UberX Share video, that you get 20% back essentially to use towards another ride, which is good. Out of curiosity, I actually took an UberX Share, not this time, but a different weekend. No one else got in my car, but I still got like a 5% discount when it comes to UberX Share versus regular Uber. I think I saved like 30 cents or something like that, but no one else joined me in that ride. I think this is really telling of what Uber's trying to do, because with UberPool back in the day, 99.9% of the time, there was someone else in that car with you. I think there was maybe 1, maybe 2 times where I'm gonna say maybe one time really. I got in the car and I'm like, hey, what's up? My name's Mark, nice to meet you. And they're like, hey, nice to meet you. It's your lucky day. You're actually my last ride. I'm canceling or telling Uber that I'm not doing any more rides. So even though I got in that UberPool, and even though I wasn't UberPool, and I got that UberPool discount, I basically had that Uber to myself. Before, it seemed like you went into it knowing you're doing a pool, no matter what. That's why you get that big discount. I mean, the discounts before used to be insane. I mean, sometimes even as high as 50% off in terms of the regular Uber versus an UberPool. Now it almost seems like the opposite, where they're saying, hey, you're basically getting a regular Uber, but you might have someone else in the car, and if so, we're giving you that 20% back, but to make it a bit more of an incentive for you, we're giving you 5% off in the beginning. Except in the case from this past weekend, where UberX Share was 1 cent more than regular Uber. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, I know a very small thing because it literally was a cent, but I think this is interesting because that means that UberX Share is not always 5% cheaper. I wonder if maybe I was in this weird lag period where maybe a surge all of a sudden blew up out of nowhere. I mean, it was about 7 p.m. on a Friday night, so maybe out of nowhere this huge surge happened and the pricing discrepancy didn't happen yet where they didn't take that 5% off. Maybe for whatever reason, UberX Share was so popular that Uber's like, you know what, we're not going to give you that 5% off in the beginning because you're probably going to have somebody in that UberX Share. Honestly, no idea what happened.